Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Carogans. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the 50 waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. False words, important things are new pieces.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework planet. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Esri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, November 4th, 2022, National Candy Day. Yes, National Candy Day. You would think Halloween would have been National Candy Day, but no, that's I guess National Get Free Candy Day. Today is National Candy Day. Is today Friday? Yes. Yes, it is. So what was Halloween? Halloween was Monday. Monday this week. It's been a long week. It's from a whole different month. Monday was still October 31st. We are now on November 4th. And what do we got for November? Tuesday was the 1st, which means next Tuesday, the 8th, what's that? Just a few days from now is our next members only live stream will be Tuesday, the 8th. So remember that. I will forget, but Mom will remind me. Tuesday, the 8th. Oh, I've got physical therapy. So we're going to be doing it at probably 3 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we're going to have a clock change. Oh, man, we're going to have a time change between now and then. Or maybe we'll do it at 5 p.m. Yeah, it probably makes more sense to do it after physical therapy than before. Okay, well, I'll more than likely Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern will be our members only stream. I will double check the numbers, but that makes more sense. And yeah, we've got didn't see that one coming. So okay. And yes, today I'm wearing the TNG shirt that I accidentally thought was my planned Halloween costume, but then it wasn't my Halloween costume, and for whatever reason, the software is deciding to fill in the black that is the TNG shirt with background. And the Random Menace donated €2 through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Random Menace. And it says subtitles say you are Berto. So greetings, Berto. Well, subtitles are, I guess you get what you pay for, and I do not pay for particularly good subtitling. So, yeah, YouTube, YouTube free subtitles. You get what you pay for. But thank you, Random Menace, either way for the super chat. John Araki was first in the chat today, says Uno. And he says, isn't Halloween National Candy Day? I agree, John Araki. That is better logic. Richie Poole says Tuvok, because he's the second in the chat. Qapla, Qapla, Richie. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Words and Pictures is only 15 minutes to go. That was, I assume, about 16 minutes ago. Mike Richards says, maybe this is leftover candy day. No, because I want to believe today is good candy, quality candy, choice A candy. Okay, the good stuff, not the leftover stuff, not the Swedish goldfish or the Sour Patch, whatever the fucks. I want to be the good candy, the good gummy bears, not the laxative gummy bears. By the way, very proud of myself for coining the phrase "Beware Carogans bearing Care Bears," not Care Bears. Shit. Beware Carogans bearing gummy bears. Beware Carogans bearing gummy bears. Instead of McCoy saying, beware Romulans. Beware Romulans bearing gifts. Beware Carogans bearing gummy bears. And if you do see a Carogan trying to give you a gummy bear, just be aware it's probably a laxative. Now, right, if you're constipated, then you seek out the Carogan gummy bears. Mike Richards says, or maybe this is the day when Birdo Prey 5 gives free candy to all the orphan miners. No, the miners don't get candy. It doesn't go well with their digestive system. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Bird, Mamo Prey, Sassy O'Prey, and fellow nerds. All hail glorious Caroga. And of course, the God Emperor, Bird O'Prey 5. Qapla, Sci-Fi Nation. Richie Poole says, maybe Bird left out the word nose when he wrote National Candy Day. No, it's not Nose Candy Day. Oh, God. Mike Richards uses emojis to say Birdo Freight 5 loves poker. I do. Sci-Fi Nation says the best time to shop for next year's Halloween candy is November 1st. Yeah, or just save it. Save your candy till next year. Words and Pictures says Qapla, Birdo Prey. I really enjoy your shows. Thank you, Words and Pictures. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know why. You probably have some sort of mental illness, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Mike Richards in song says, all hail Caroga, the land of payola. Give all your cash to the great Birdo Prey. Thank you, Mike Richards. Sci-Fi Nation, Birdo Prey 5 emojis, and Caroga. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says Qapla and Lurking. Qapla Gorilla. Dave G Sound says Qapla Birdo Prey 5 and Caroga. Qapla Dave G. Bradley Briggs says Zup y'all. Zup Bradley. 47 Yorktown. Hello, 47. Captain Fandom Nerd uses his 9-month member chat to say beware Care Bears. You also want to beware Care Bears because Care Bears aren't real, but Carogans are. So if you see a Care Bear, you've probably been poisoned with a hallucinogen, possibly magic mushrooms, maybe LDS. I don't know. I'm not a particularly drug guy, but I don't know how they work, but I'm told that these things might happen. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening, Yvette. Sci-Fi Nation says, nice Starfleet shirt. Thank you, Sci-Fi. It's got the printed on com badge and everything. Yeah. Mr. Lundell's groovy movie, says Qapla. Qapla, Mr. Lundell. Sci-Fi Nation says, member only stream is on election day. Oh, that's right. Tuesday the 8th is election day. Oh, Well, I guess at 5 o'clock, that's still, none of the polls should be closed at 5. Might stream later. I don't know. Maybe it will stream some election results, or more likely I'll just go to sleep early so I can catch the results in the morning. Although, truth be told, I believe tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow, very soon, either tonight or tomorrow, is the $1.6 billion Powerball, Mega Ball, whatever, lottery, whichever one it is, Powerball. So, as I plan on winning it, I really don't know I'm going to care so much about the election. You know, it's going to be like I'll be in a different, once your bank value surpasses several $100 million, you're in a different, what's that word? World? No, a different class. You're a different class of people. And to be frank, I will not be in the class of people that worries about little things like governments and laws and that stuff for you people, the taxpayers, to worry about. I'll be well above the level. I'll be isolated from reality, and it's better for me. It's better for you. It's better for the whales somehow.
Thank you.
Mama Frey is saying I'm already isolated from reality. Well, whatever it is, it's better for me. It's better for you, and it's better for them. So that's all. That's all that matters. It's better for you, Sassy, too. Trust me. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yeah, who's Daddy's good girl? Aw, Sassy. She's looking at me. She's like, yay, we're going to win. I'm going to be a lotto dog. I don't think Deeja's here, I'm afraid. Deeja's working hard on the farm. Yeah. Carlo Albanese, Qapla Carlo, says, hi, I hope everyone is as well as can be. And hail, Caroga, hail, Caroga. Yvette says, finally, America catches up with the rest of the world, and time is good again. Yeah, this Sunday. Sunday. I had a dream. Mom will pray throughout. I had a dream. Mom will pray throughout the spam. But then I woke up. I was like, oh, obviously that was a dream. Mom will pray would never throw out the spam. Anyway, Sunday. I might eat the out-of-date spam that Mom will pray saved for me. But more importantly, we fall back. So Tuesday's Twilight Zone, that's normally 2:30 p.m. Eastern, will remain at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. But if you're outside the country, it would be an hour later than you're used to.
Tuesday's Twilight?
Sunday's Twilight Zone, excuse me. Sunday's Twilight Zone would be an hour later than you're used to. Cody Guy says, hello, Cody Guy. Mike Richards says, I love Sour Patch, whatever the fucks. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, there'd be plenty of extra Sour Patch Kids, or whatever they are. Carlo Albanese wants the THC gummy bears. Now, these gummy bears have a chemical that causes a laxative property at the expense of sugar. Sci-Fi Nation says, my gummy bears are good and legal, just not for kids. Captain MKG says, Qapla all, Qapla all, Captain MKG. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello to Dave G. People saying hello to everybody. The Random Menace is gummy bears are made of cow bones, so it should be called gummy cows. Well, all Jell-O is made out of cow bones or some type of bone. Yvette says, Joseph, that's what I'll call them from now on. Wow, you started a trend, Joseph. The Random Menace says, Yvette, we need to be precise. I appreciate your decision and applaud it. Carlo Albanese says, remember to vote early and vote often. Absolutely. Captain Fandom Nerd says, the Random Menace, that is something most people don't think about. And Carlo says, reality sucks. Well, sometimes reality is better than, well, no, very rarely is reality better than your dreams. This is true. LDG says, putting my money on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've got a good feeling. Captain Fandom Nerd says, yes, Carlo, reality sucks. Absolutely. Carlo Albanese says, that's spam Mama Pray saved for us. Will be around long after the human race. The Random Menace is Captain Phantom Nerd. To be fully transparent, there are also plant-based and artificial versions, but they taste like crap compared to the originals. And Dave G Sounds is gummy bears have Cambuda, Canuba wax listed in the ingredients. I hesitate to even Google what that is, but I guess I've got to now. Canuba wax, also called Brazil wax and palm wax, is the wax of the leaves of the Caruba palm. Collecting and dyeing the leaves, feeding them to loosen the wax, and then refining and bleaching it. Okay. Not as bad as what I thought it was. Is it healthy to eat? It's non-toxic and generally recognized as safe, GRAS, by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration as both a direct and indirect food additive. Wow. So is it healthy to eat? It's generally recognized as safe. Something they say often enough that they had to come up with a 4-letter acronym. A 4-letter acronym for something, yeah, it's safe enough. It's safe enough. It's generally recognized as safe. So that means that there's times it's not recognized as safe. If it's only generally recognized as safe, when is it not? When it always recognized as safe? A-R-A-S-B, better than generally. I don't know. These are questions. Questions that have no answers, apparently. 47 Yorktown says, lotto winnings are tax-free in Canada. Not if they're American. Not if they're American. The Random Menace is Wordle. Wordle, we could do Wordle. The problem, Random Menace, is that I already did it. I'm sorry. I know I say in the description. That we could do Wordle, and the truth is we could do Wordle. But let's see. We could do Wordle, but okay, well, here's the thing. I'm going to do Wordle. So if you don't want to know the answer to Wordle, come back in 20 seconds. Ready? Go. Yay! Wordle in one. I'm a genius. Thank you. Thank you. And Mama Pray was being completely honest when she said this morning on Joseph's Wordle clue that even with the ability to take those on every single cell phone, Mama Pray is very gifted at many, many things. Photographer is not one of them. I love her. I love Mama Pray. But she is not a born photographer. That's one thing she's not. So November 4th holidays. It's a few days after Halloween. National Candy Day, obviously the most colorful holiday for today. It's Flag Day in Panama. Of course, American Flag Day is June 14th, I believe, which also happens to be a former president's birthday. And that's a very, very patriotic time, particularly for this past president. Fountain Pen Day. Fountain Pen Day. The pen so fine, it's got its own day. Does the Bic 4-color pen have a day? Honestly, I would hope it does. Because I tell you, my favorite pen of all time is the 4-color Bic medium point ballpoint pen. That's the blue bottom with the white top and the black, the red, the green, and the blue ink. Now they have the orange bottom, but the orange bottom is a fine tip, not medium point, fine point. And that pen sucks. I hate the fine point Bics. I love the medium point Bics. Okay? And I will say Bic, not the other word that you think it would be funny if I was saying. Okay? I don't want fine point, the other word, or medium. I don't want the other word, period. Okay? But Bic, B-I-C. Now I know, and I'm a bit embarrassed to admit this, but Bic is a French company. Apparently, the French are good at 3 things. Okay? Wine, vodka, and pens. Okay, you thought I was going to say chocolate, but no, the Belgians are much better. They are at French fries, so as they are at toast, and so they are at kissing. Yes, even the French kiss is better in Belgium. The only thing the French do good is wine, vodka, as in Grey Goose, and Bic pens. Blue, the blue Bics, not the orange. Those blue Bic pens got me through college. 3/4 of my notes in college were done with blue Bic pens and on engineering paper. So, but fountain pens, much too fancy for somebody with my penmanship. Penmanship? Is that it? P-E-N? Penmanship? That makes a hell of a lot more sense than penned. P-E-N-D. Like, why would there be a D in penmanship? Okay, penmanship, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way, but yeah, I'm much better with a regular ballpoint pen than a fountain pen. It's National Love Your Lawyer Day, which sounds like the lawyers just made up a day. Okay, now, for those of you who were on LDG stream earlier, I think it was LDG. No, excuse me, Captain Trek. Those of you who were on Captain Trek stream earlier, yes, Captain Trek actually streamed this morning, a little morning brew return. We talked about National Chicken Lady Day. And this lady is the National Chicken Lady Day lady, Dr. Dupree, Tina Dupree. And I just like to say that it is not by my choice that we're told to celebrate Dr. Dupree as National Chicken Lady Day by buying a bucket of fried chicken. I find it a bit distasteful that we would do that, but that's the way I've been told to celebrate it. I choose not to. You do whatever you want. It's the National Day of Community Service Day, which sounds like that's what if you love your lawyer because he got you to do community service instead of go to prison. I suspect the days are related. Day of Community Service. Oh, it's Dominica's citizens. Excuse me, not American. Dominica's citizens are encouraged to clean up litter from the streets. Let's help them. How about everybody? Not just Dominicas. Dominicans. No, Dominicas. And very different than Dominicans. I don't know. Are Dominicans from Dominica? Or no, I don't know. What's the other country? The one that shares the island with Haiti. The Dominican Republic. Are Dominicans from the Dominican Republic or Dominica? Shit. I don't even know. Are there two different countries? I'm pretty sure there are. You know what? I'm going to stop talking on account that anything I say might be taken as racist. You know what? We need another amendment. We need like the 5th and a half amendment. I plead the 5th and a half. What's the 5th and a half? I'm not talking on the basis that anything I say might be taken as racist. So you don't want to speak? Not that I don't want to speak. My lawyer has told me not to speak on a basis that anything I say might be considered racist. National Easy Bake Oven Day. And do they have a picture of an Easy Bake Oven? No. That's a regular fucking oven. Why don't you have a picture of an Easy Bake Oven? This be the easiest thing. You could Google a picture of an Easy Bake Oven. That's a real oven. Do you not know what the difference between an Easy Bake Oven is? An Easy Bake Oven is powered by a fucking flashlight. No, it's powered by a light bulb. It's powered by a light bulb. A toy that can cook real food. Sounds like a child's dream coming true. That's not a toy. It's just an oven powered by an old school light bulb before we had to have LEDs. It's National Jersey Friday, which I thought was from the state. No, it's about the shirt, like a sports jersey. Jerseys are the ultimate symbol of fandom, signifying our allegiance to a sporting team. Or, doesn't have to be just a sporting team. It'd be nice if there were Star Trek jerseys. It's National Melanie Day. I was pronouncing this in my head as Melanie. I just realized it's Melanie. As Donna Summer said, Melanie is a sweet vision on her feet. I barely know who Donna Summer is. I have no idea who Melanie is in that remark. I think I've known one Melanie my entire life, a sister of a classmate, and my God, well, let's just say she should have pled the 5th and a half amendment every time she spoke. National Waiting for the Barbarians Day. What the fuck does that even mean? Dive into J.M. Coetzee popular award-winning novel, Waiting for the Barbarians. Never heard of him. never heard of the man, never heard of the book. I've heard of barbarians. It's roast dinner day, and it's a picture of a turkey, perhaps a chicken, maybe it's a duck. I don't know what that is. I don't know what bird it is, but I always thought a roast was like a pork, was like a pig. A delicious home-cooked roast is unrivaled. Allow yourself to indulge today. It must be a duck. Roast duck. I've heard of roast duck. Never ate roast duck. Never had any desire to eat roast duck. I'm pretty sure I've only heard of roast duck on Looney Tunes. You know, Daffy didn't want to turn into a roast. And like, you would see Elmer Fudd and you'd see Daffy. And then you would see in Elma's mind that Daffy would slowly turn into a roast. And you're like, oh yeah, that's good. That's good looking food. Okay, I think that's the only time I've ever thought of a duck as food. That, and of course Chinese restaurants, because they have duck on the menu. Not particularly a fan. A duck. I know the French are all about cooking the goose, the foie gras. That's purposely not on my list of the 3 things the French are good at: wine, vodka, Bic pens, but not foie gras. Oh my God, is foie gras evil incarnate? Just the taste. Not even talking the practice. Not even talking the practice of force-feeding geese to get their liver all fat. Forget that. It tastes like awfulness. It tastes like the devil. It tastes like you're kissing Satan. Why would anybody eat foie gras? I don't know, but my former boss, billionaire Sidney E. Frank, as great a person as he was, donating hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, it's one thing to donate $100 million when you have 50 billion. It's a whole big difference to donate $200 million when you've got 2 billion. Okay, that's a much bigger percentage of your donate. Just as a fact. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of money, but he had a lot of money. But he donated a pretty significant amount of his fortune. But man, could that man eat the foie gras? Once he had me taste it. That was it. Oh my God. He wanted me to wash it down with wine that cost like $20,000 a bottle. And I'm not even joking. Literally, the wine cost $20,000 a bottle. I had to tell his personal chef, I said, number 1, never give me foie gras again. And number 2, don't pour me this wine. I can't enjoy it. Okay? I have zero taste for wine. It didn't matter how good the wine was. All wine tastes the same to me. Exactly the same. And none of it is good. It's not even a good taste. Okay? I would take RC Cola from the crappiest restaurant. And don't get me wrong, I don't like RC Cola. I'm Coca-Cola through and through. Pepsi, okay, second choice. I would take RC Cola from the shittiest restaurant 100 times over than the best wine you could find. It just, I don't have any desire to drink wine. And I felt like it was a crime against humanity that they were wasting good wine on me, especially to wash out the flavor of foie gras. Oh my God. It's Russia's Day of Unity today. Somehow I think this day is on pause. Okay, I don't think Russia's Day of Unity is being celebrated today. Let's peel back the layers and discover how this day came to be. You know what? We're just We're going to skip that day today. Oh my God. Mamo Pray.
What?
It is your favorite day today.
My favorite day.
It's Use Your Common Sense Day.
Oh.
This day encourages us to think and act effectively. What is this? Use Your Common Sense Day. Your common sense is observed annually. No wonder why the entire world's gone to hell. You're only supposed to use your common sense one day of the year. It's only observed today. Use Your Common Sense Day is observed annually on November 4th. Since common sense is an important tool for living life, common sense is the applied knowledge of simple, sensible things, such as not putting metal into microwaves or jumping into rivers without knowing what is under the water. This date also marks the birthday of Will Rogers, the man who remarked, "Common sense ain't that common." We need to remind ourselves of the importance of applying common sense to everyday lives and decisions to avoid unnecessary dangers and to make the most of opportunities. In the social media age, this is a pet peeve of many, that common sense seems to have fallen by the wayside. There are even calls for subjects stimulating common sense in school curriculums in the U.S. because so few seem to employ it.
May I interrupt?
Yes, Mama Pray, please.
I
Please,
did not know.
let me put the Mama Pray on.
Okay.
Yes, Mama Pray.
I did not know today was Common Sense Day. But earlier today, I was thinking that I was going to, you know how they have the guides for dummies?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was going to call it Common Sense for Idiots. I was thinking more in line, okay, everybody knows how much I hate the people that package any item. I mean, like, they'll wrap 16 rolls of saran wrap paper around an item worth $2. But that wasn't it. This was aimed at delivery people. Now,
Door Dashers. Uber,
yeah, this week I've had
Amazon.
Amazon delivery, food delivery, Uber drivers. Do they get any kind of training? I don't know. But the other day we got Amazon Fresh, which is their grocery delivery. Now, I ordered 2 cases of 24 bottles of water each, and they put the bags up on the top of the porch. Now, the porch is big enough to hold all the bags and the water. They took the 2 cases of water, put them side to side on the top step. So I had to go down. First, I almost tripped going around the case of water because there really wasn't enough room. It took up the whole step. I had to go down over the water to pick it up, to carry it in. I was just so annoyed. Were they that lazy? Well, they did not realize anyone, even if I was younger, to bend over a step to pick up something. Like, what do you do this? The other thing is, we get deliveries of food. Now, our door opens out, as most outdoors do, screen doors, or they put it right in front of the door. So if you open the door, you're going to knock it over. If it contains a beverage, boom, that's the end of everything, the food, the beverage. And I say, don't they have any common sense? Apparently not. So they need a common sense guide. I was going to call it a common sense guide for idiots, but then I was going to put in parentheses, delivery people. I mean, you always
It
get
does
boxes.
seem like the very first lesson any delivery person should get. If you're putting food in front of somebody's door, make sure the door doesn't open out.
Right, put it next to the door. I mean, yeah, put it next to so the door don't hit it. Little things, little things.
It's funny you mention it because, I mean, we have where you open our door, you can look through it. The top half of the door is a window, a screen. So you can see what's out there, generally speaking. But there are some people whose doors aren't. Their doors are.
See in front of the door.
Oh, well, yeah, you're not tall enough.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, okay, that's true too.
I have to open the door inch by inch
Okay.
until where is that bag?
Right. Well, there are people whose doors are completely solid wood or whatever material. They can't
Yeah.
hope to see what's out there at all. And
I mean, anything that says fragile, they just toss.
yeah.
Is it, you wonder. All right, guys, now that I ranted a little bit, hope everyone's having a good day, and I'll go back to my poker game.
Okay. Yes, Mamo Pray hit the big time in Governor of Poker yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was last night.
Yesterday she got a hyper spin token in her daily chest. The end of the day, the chest you open after you get your 100 activity points. Apparently, there's a very small chance in that chest you get a hyper spin token, and the hyper spin token was worth, in her case, 150 million chips. So she jumped up. In fact, as of now, she's leading me. So Mamo Pray now in first place, best I can tell, on the team, on Cinnabon's team. So congrats to Mamo Pray.
But I'd much rather you won the lottery.
Yes. Well, we're working on winning the lottery, Mamo Pray. Working on winning the lottery. So yeah, it's common sense day. Not that common. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the chat that I missed. Where are we? Dave G. Sound says that's a car wax. What did I miss? Dave G says that's for turtles. Mike Richards says I waxed my turtle and he went really fast. Bradley Briggs says 6 out of 10 researchers say it's safe, so it's generally safe. The Random Meta says food recognized in the U.S. as just safe will never pass European legislation. Well, then what do European gummy bears have in them? Because if they must have something similar. I know they certainly have gummy bears in Germany. Sci-Fi Nation says certain Hot Wheels cars came with tiny packets of turtle wax back in the day. And why not? Dave G says he increased speed increased by 20%. The Random Menace says there is also Wordle Unlimited. Wordle Unlimited? What's that? Wordle Unlimited. Now I've got to Google Wordle Unlimited. Wordle Unlimited. WordleUnlimited.org. WordleUnlimited.io. Loading. Is this just constant, just a new Wordle game every second? Possibly. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole nother Wordle, but I'm curious. Okay. Richie Poole says bird cheated. I didn't cheat. I told you up front. I already did it. LDG lols. Sci-Fi Nation says even Bic gets just the tip. Well, I'm just saying the medium tip is better than the fine tip. Yitz11 says the French are good at surrendering too. 4 things the French are good at. You're right. Carlo Albanese says the Carogan kiss is the best. That is also true. Yitz says and being chauvinists. Wow. I don't know about that. I know some pretty good chauvinists that are not French. Yitz says and eating snails. Okay. Keep the Belgian and the French apart. Bradley Briggs says Bic makes great lighters too, if that's the same company. I believe it is. Sci-Fi Nation says escargots. The Random Menace says snails are tasty, perfect with garlic butter. Oh, nasty. 47 Yorktown says hashtag oven rant. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies says you've not used a pen until you've used a left-handed fountain pen. You know what, Miss Londell? I will take your word. Carlo says easy bake oven, too hard to photograph. And Mike Richards is laughing. That was on an easy bake rant. That was a mini rant at best. Jedi Bill says Qapla, brother warrior, bird of prey. Hail Caroga. Oh, and Mamo Prey, Sci-Fi Nation used his member chat while you were talking to say hooray for Mamo Prey. She says thank you. Sorry about that, Sci-Fi Nation. Apologies. The Random Menace is Russia's a rot in hell day. Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, it is. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies says roast duck is great. You and Elma Fudd. Sci-Fi Nation says you can roast anything from veggies and almost any kind of meat. Pro tip, most all coffee beans are roasted. Yeah, fair enough. But when somebody talks about a roast, I never really think of it as a bird. Jedi Bill says hello to LDG. 47 Yorktown says, what are French Canadian good at? French Canadian are good at picking out wives from the former Soviet Asian Muslim, yes. Okay, French Canadians are really good at picking out Asian Muslim wife from the USS, born in the USSR. They're good choices. They make good choices. Bradley Briggs says wine, that's like $100 a drink. Yes. Yitza says hello. Mike Richards says they're the #1 producer of Crazy Alexanders. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says duck is wonderful, which reminds me I got to get a couple more. Wow. Random Menace's foie gras is fantastic. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? Oh my God. How do you like that? That's possibly the most disgusting food in my life I've ever had the misfortune of eating. And that was before I even knew what it was. Carlos says Pepsi to the max. Ms. Lindell says the Random Menace, it has to do with the way you've been told how it's made. Yeah, but still. Dave G says that makes sense. Sci-Fi Nation says common sense isn't that common. Absolutely. Carlo Albanese with the Mamo Pray emoji. Sci-Fi Nation, Mamo Pray. Random Menace says the Miss Londells, chicken nuggets, sausages, eggs from caged chickens, and the earlier mentioned gummy bears. Way worse than foie gras. Yes. Force feeding is common with many animals. And don't get me wrong, I've eaten veal. It's not, I don't like it, but I've eaten it. It tastes good sometimes, okay? I've eaten animals that I'm sure I wouldn't have liked to know the way they lived and the way they died. But I eat, okay? I don't have a problem with it. Foie gras tastes terrible. If foie gras tasted like chicken cutlets or mozzarella sticks or corn nuggets or a steak, a delicious steak, I would be like, oh, fuck. I guess it's a real shame how those goddamn geese get killed like that. I'll take a second order, please. But I'd feel really bad about it, but I would eat it. Foie gras tastes like awfulness. It is. It tastes like death. Carlos says, I put it there on purpose. Record it, put it on YouTube. 2 jobs at once. I call that genius. I put it there on purpose, says Carlo. Ms. Lundell says, Random Menace, explain that to the greenies. The Random Menace says, Ms. Lundell, I tried. It did not work out. I have only 2 middle fingers. The Traveler, formerly known as Wesley Crusher, with a $2 super chat, says number 15, make salty, make new super chats. I think he's probably working on them. He is actually probably working on them. The problem is that he doesn't make them. His son does. And I think his son might be getting too busy to make super chats, but we'll see. We'll see sooner than later. Thank you, Wesley. I mean, the Traveler. Thank you, the Traveler. The Random Menace says Mamo Pere seems to be a bigger addict than Bird. At the poker, she might be. She might be. Random Menace is indeed Bird. It's wordleunlimited.org. It is, okay. It is .org. Is that where I am? Nope. Okay. I'm at .io. Wordleunlimited.org. Wordle Unlimited, guess the hidden word in 6 tries. Each guess must be a valid 5-letter word. You cannot enter random letters. Hit the enter button to submit the guess. After your submission, the color of the tiles will change in the examples below. Okay, so what is this any different? How is this different from actual Wordle? In Wordle, you have a 5-letter word, the hidden word. There are versions of the game in which you have to guess 6-letter words or even 7-letter words, but the most popular is a 5-letter word game. You have to guess the word in 6 tries. So basically, begin typing a word. It has to be a real word found in the dictionary. Once you type in your guess, you click enter. Your guess is going to be submitted. Okay. The best way is to begin with a word with many vowels, like irate, or arise. If you want to erase blah, 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 has to be a real word. Okay. Wordle fact. Well, okay, so why? In the original game, there was one word for all players for 24 hours. So everybody has the same guess, the same word, and the reason why the word Wordle has gone viral. Everyone wants to share how many guesses to get to the answer. The twit did not have the website address in itself, just the colors, but everybody who had been playing the game understood the meaning. It became like a badge of honor. Okay. Can I challenge my friends on Wordle? There is no multiplayer version. Blah, blah, blah. Dark mode. Okay. Randomness is Wordle Unlimited is exactly like Wordle, only unlimited, not one word a day. I gotcha. Well, in all respect, the whole point of Wordle is that it's only one word a day. But I appreciate the link. Thank you. Sci-Fi Nation says Kenny Rogers used to have a restaurant based on roasted chicken. You're right. Okay. Yeah, I guess roasted chicken is a thing. Dan Ben says hello. Hello, Dan Ben. The Traveler says greetings, everyone. Off to work I go. I will listen in. Qapla, Traveler. Thank you for listening. It's really more of a Guinan thing. Listening. Dan Ben says Coke to the zero. Scythilis says Qapla, friendos. Cool shirt. Thank you, Scythilis. Scythilis says don't touch balut. If we're talking shite food. I don't know what that is, so I will not touch it. The Random Menace is in Switzerland. I had my first horse steak. Oh, God. It was the best steak I ever had. Better than Wagyu steak. My God. You see, this is what happens when you live in Slovakia. I'm sorry. Once the train comes, you'll be exposed to much better food. The McDonald's will show up after the train comes. You'll get McDonald's. You'll get KFC. You'll get, maybe if you're really lucky, a Chick-fil-A. Okay, you eat the animals God intended you to eat. Okay, cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys on special days. Not horses, not goose livers, not snails. God, oh my God, not snails. There's okay, maybe certain fish, and that's just maybe. Dan Ben says truffles. Truffles are not for me, but I understand why some people like them. Richie Poole says, shut up, Wesley. Sci-Fi Nation says borscht isn't that great either. Captain Fandom Nerd says to the Traveler, formerly known as Wesley Crusher, hey. The Random Menace says, Sci-Fi Nation, you probably did not have a really good one yet. To be honest, it's hard to find one that's really well made. Captain Phantom Nerd says, borscht can be lovely when made right. Sci-Fi says, I will trust your judgment on that, Joseph. The Random Menace says, Bird of Prey, the Wordle Unlimited is exactly like Wordle, only unlimited, not only one word a day. And Yitza, again, oh my God. Yitza confirming horse is great. Oh no, Yitza. This is damaging the reputation of all Belgians. Belgiumans? What do you Belgiumish call yourselves? Belgians? Belgians. Belgians? Belgish? Are you Belgish? That doesn't sound right. Are you from Belgium? That sounds right. Are you Belgish? That's not right. I don't know. I'm just saying oof. No eat horse. No eat horse. Is that too hard? You know what? I wish George Washington or some of the founding fathers had just, instead of e pluminus umen or whatever our motto is, out of many one, it was just don't eat horse. Don't eat horse. No eat horse. Okay, that'd be better if that was on our money, and that was on the back of every quarter and $100 bill. No eat horse. Carlo Albanese says 1 word a day. It'll take a week to say pass the potatoes and gravy, please. Yes, it would. The Random Menace says Sci-Fi Nation. It is the national Ukrainian dish, so we are close. Not sure if you can get somewhere a Hungarian fish soup called halazel. Halazel. That one is brilliant. Jesus. Belgians. Okay, you're Belgians. Thank you, Yetza. Or Belgier if you're a Roman. Scythilis says the Filipinos will tell you ballot is just an egg. Don't trust them. Sci-Fi Nations is just about an hour drive to get there. Carlo Albanese says waste not, what not. I think he meant want not, waste not, what not. Yvette says, I've had delicious horse burger. Oh no, it's spreading. She said delicious horse burger in Bruges. And Carlo asked, Tesco? Yitza says, I learned today that the Latin word for belge or belge means to swell with anger. I wonder what the Romans knew. Or the Latins knew. Wait. Where did the Latins live? They certainly didn't live in Mexico. There's something really screwed up about our language system. Angry lovemaking. Scythilis says, last time I was in the USA, they scanned all of my $100 bills to make sure they didn't say anything about horses on them, I guess. Yes, I suppose that's what they did. Oh no, okay. So it's Dear Bop time. And I see that we've got some direct messages from Gary Katzer, aka Rock Solid. One with the title Screw You, and one that says Dude. I don't often go out of order, but let's go to why is Gary Katzer, aka Rock Solid, so angry at me when I was at his premiere today. I was at his premiere. I watched the whole thing. It was a very good review of a Genesis 2 mini. No, let's see. What's wrong with Gary? Why is he upset? Oh. Swedish fish are amazing. Oh, he didn't like me relegating Swedish fish to the secondary wasted, the candy, the non-primary candy table. Okay, I used to take the Swedish fish out of my candy bucket and put it in with the candy I would donate to other people or bring in for the class to share after the fact, the candy I didn't want to eat. And not only did I not want to eat, I didn't even want to be reminded it existed. Sorry, Gary, but you know what? All the more reason for you to be a Carogan. There'll be plenty of extra Swedish fish around, because I sure as hell not going to eat any. And he says, dude, RC Cola is great. So is cherry RC Cola. You have no taste. I specifically said that RC Cola was better than a $20,000 a glass bottle of wine. So I don't see what you've got to go on there. Granted, I would take Coca-Cola over RC Cola, but still, I did say it was better than a $20,000 bottle of wine. Miss Lundell says, after all, meat is meat. Man's got to eat. Carlo Albanese says, bye done sniffing horse paste as a child. Dear Bob. Okay, let's go to the first Dear Bob. Dear Bob, guess these TV shows by initials. No, this isn't guess the TV show by initials. This is Dear Bob. CM. Could be anything. CM. I mean, what's Cheers? No, that only is a C. Cinderella? No. Country? I don't know. Is there a show called Country Mart? For all I know, there is. AHS? MF? Mama's Family? I mean, I know there's a show, Mama's Family, but are we going back to the 1970s? HIMYM? Honey, How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother. God damn it. BNN. I don't know. EO. L&O. Law and Order. That's ridiculous. BCS. SP. South Park. South Park. Probably. So what I get? 3 out of 10? Not. Okay, here are the answers. CM, Criminal Minds. I mean, I never watched it. I never heard of it. American Horror Story. Never watched it. Never heard of it. Modern Family. I got Mama's Family. I was still right. How I Met Your Mother. I got that. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I missed The Office. I missed Law and Order. Okay. Better Call Saul. Didn't think of it. And South Park. I got. And spam. Spam. Dear Bob, did Lower Decks break Star Trek DS9 canon? Wasn't Kira in a Starfleet uniform at the end of the series when she took command of the station? No. She was only in Starfleet uniform when she went to Cardassia because the Cardassians wouldn't trust her Bajoran. They felt it would be better if she was there in a Starfleet uniform. She was on a temporary assignment for Starfleet. She was not a member of Starfleet. I mean, had she been wearing a Starfleet uniform at the end of DS9, I think she was back in her old uniform. She was only in the Starfleet uniform while she was on Cardassia. Maybe she still wore the uniform when she got off the ship. But, I mean, when she went with Odo back to his planet, I thought she was back to her old uniform. But even if she was in the Federation uniform, it was temporary. So no, that doesn't break canon. Dear Bob, Last Bed Life. Oh, by the way, I know she's busy because she's probably streaming right now. But last week, Antiderivative Jill gave a super chat just after I ended the stream. So a big thank you to Antiderivative Jill. I did not get a chance to say it on stream, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I know I'm pretty sure she's still streaming because she started her stream at 3:30, a half hour before me today. So I believe she's still streaming. But if anybody sees her or if she reads this or gets this at some point, I want to thank you, Antiderivative Jill, for the super chat because I forgot to mention it on Monday. And so it's a week late, but I remembered. So thank you, Antiderivative Jill. Anyway, Dear Bob, last bed life, someone said they didn't like the jokes someone submits, but I personally like them. They put a smile on my face as I fight my depression and my wanting to be isolated. Plus, always a good to have more ammo frondad. More ammo frondad jokes. Ammo frondad jokes. I don't get me wrong. I don't mind the dad jokes. I don't mind the dad jokes. At least there's something. I don't like the waiting for 10 minutes as I decipher the TV titles. But a good dad joke, that's fine.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, Mama Pray.
That you mentioned the word dad.
Okay. Yes, Mama Pray.
Since you mentioned the word dad.
Yeah.
And for those of you that have been around a while, you know that Deej, sorry, see, is not the father. And I believe that. But the other day, nephew O'Prey was at the park with his mother. And there was a playground, a playground in the park. And there was a little, I don't know, what do you call it? It was a disc that held like one child that they held on and it spun around, or you spun it for them. And nephew O'Prey said he wanted to go on that. So his mother took him over there, but there was somebody using it. So she explained to him, "You're next. Your turn will be next, and then you can go on when they finish." And it was, this thing is for toddlers, not for big children. And, well, nephew O'Prey just looked at the other child on the disc, and he pointed at him and he said, "You get off." I'm starting to think maybe Deej is the father. Because I don't know where he would have picked something like that up unless he was listening to Deej on, Now, that is a true story. It's got nothing to do with Deej. But my daughter, she was mortified. She was mortified when he did that. And the other mother said, "Well, we've been here a while anyway. It's time for us to go." And they left. At 2 years old, he's becoming a bully. I don't know.
He's not becoming a bully. He's learning to be God Emperor of Caroga.
Oh, is that?
He's issuing commands.
Get off.
He has a family line of keeping peace on the playground. That's where I bit my first child. Yeah, nephew O'Prey is following in the family footsteps of not taking names at the schoolyard or the play yard.
Just start following Uncle Paulie's footsteps.
Well, he might follow Uncle Paulie's footsteps. He's certainly following mine. That kid, I admit, he jumped the line. It was my turn on the slide, and this son of a bitch, he thought he was going to get in there, and just because he was a little faster than me, screw that. Well, you better keep your arm away from my teeth then, you son of a bitch. So yeah, Charlie is certainly an alpha in the yard. You get off. Oh, Charlie. Sci-Fi Nation says, Bird of Prey, she did get a temporary commission. Yes, she had a temporary commission. That's why she was in uniform. So, but as it's temporary, it's perfectly normal that she'd be back in the Bajoran militia. Dan Ben thinks Criminal Minds is coming back. Dan Ben says the guy who plays Fat Tony in The Simpsons is the lead in Criminal Minds. Miranda Menace says, I like Criminal Minds. It's a bit different from other cop shows. Dan Ben says Paramount Plus Criminal Minds Evolution. Carlo Albanese added the fifth light. I added the fifth light, sir. Random Menace is cool. Good to know. I never watched it when it was new. Now watching it on Disney. Carlo Albanese says, poor Deej. Richie Poole says, Deej is the father. Carlo is laughing. Sci-Fi Nation says, The Random Menace. There's a show on Netflix US called Mindhunter, if you can find it. It's about the beginnings of the BAU that is portrayed as in Criminal Minds. I think you'd like it. Carlo Albanese says, Hail, Caroga. Reggie Poole says, Nephew of Prey was simply acting like a Klingon. And Carlos says, wait, first child, vampire Opry, fine. I don't know about it being a vampire. Because I bit. Yeah, it's possible. I didn't want to taste blood. If it makes any difference. Dear Bop, what's the difference between the Sega? Excuse me. We need to be on the Dear Bop screen. What's the difference between the Sega Genesis Mini and the Sega Genesis Mini 2? Well, the Sega Genesis Mini looks like the original Sega Genesis, which was a much nicer design than the really shitty Genesis 2 Mini design. But the biggest difference is that the Genesis 2 Mini has a bunch of different games than the original Genesis Mini, which to me is pretty crappy, because who wants two systems so that you can have all the games you should be able to play on a single system? Especially since the 2 is more expensive than the 1 and comes with half the number of controllers. They could have put all the games from the first on the second so that you could resell the first, or at least put the first somewhere else in your house and still have all the games from the first one. So, I mean, let's face it. I don't think it's a good idea to waste your money on either system when you can emulate them for free, especially if you already own all those games. So I think they really missed the mark, but that's the big difference. Dear Bop, what's the difference between the Sega Genesis Mini and the Sega Genesis Mini 2? Oh, it's the exact same question. I answered it already. Dear Bop, my friend's star sign was Cancer, so I guess it's quite ironic how he died. He got attacked by a giant crab. Ha, 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 ha. Okay. Dear Bop, it's cola, not kohler. Damn New Yorker. Just kidding. Cola. Dear Bop, do you prefer fatty meat or lean meat? Do you prefer ground or whole meat, like steak? I prefer good meat. I don't care if it's fatty or lean, if it's tender. Okay? Nice, tender, delicious meat. Okay? That said, all things equal, I guess a little fattier the meat, generally the tender it is, and the better it tastes. I don't want to eat the fat, don't get me wrong, but like a ribeye tends to be a fattier piece of meat than a New York strip. Now, I've had delicious New York strip, and I've had shitty ribeyes, but a good ribeye is generally better than a good strip. So I guess I prefer the fattier meat, and I prefer the whole than the burger, than the ground, if it's good. But it's certainly easier and cheaper to get a decent ground meat than a decent whole meat. So if I know the restaurant and I know they make good food, then I take the lean steak over the fatty piece. But if I don't know the place, I would just take a burger over the steak because I wouldn't risk wasting money on a shitty steak when I can get a pretty decent burger. Carlo Albanese says retro Coca-Cola coming soon to a pharmacy near you. I don't think so. Sci-Fi Nation says nose a cola. I don't even want to think. Dear Bob, what happened to Andrea Seabrook? The NPR woman who lived in Costa Rica. And she sent me that really cool gift basket that time. Honestly, I haven't spoken to her in probably like 6 months, a year. She came by one time, maybe, I don't know if it was 6 and 9 months ago. She said hello real quick. And then she left again. I assume she's okay. We don't really speak. I'm guessing she got busy in her life and moved on, as many people apt to do. I hope she's well. And from Gary Katzer, going to Disney World. Many got to see from my recent post that I was in Disney World 2 weeks ago. It's always a good time, but things seemed a little off this trip. It was disappointing to see it was such a Mickey Mouse operation. And Gary Katzer says, Mama Pray would appreciate this. There's no tired like Disney tired. And we had and there's a picture of, I assume it's his daughter, asleep in a ride, face down, pacifier in mouth. Very, very cool. Oh, Mama Bray wants to come and say, yes, the camera's off. Right. Oh, it's a video. It's a video.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true. No tired like Disney tired.
I was never that little.
Yes, you were.
No, oof. Oh,
And I've got pictures of you in Disney.
Oh, it's a high chair. I thought she was on a ride. It's a high chair next to a food. Okay.
I've got pictures
Yeah.
of you in a stroller in Disney with a big plastic cigar in your mouth that your
Oof.
grandfather bought you.
Wow, look at how much that chair moves. Just with that little touch. Is that on wheels?
Must be.
It almost looks like Pike's wheelchair. Very, very cool. I'm glad you guys enjoyed Disney. Thank you. That was the resort restaurant, says Rock Solid. And Rock Solid says, no, you were smaller. Sci-Fi says, no, you were younger. Yeah. Yes, that was that was Chekhov. When he's saying, we were never that small. No, you were younger. I was never that young. And Kirk says, no, you were younger. Richie Pools says, Vertebrae. In Cobra Kai season 4 opener, a bottle of Coca-Cola was on the table in the foreground, and a bottle of RC Cola was on the counter in the background. So Coca-Cola wins. Carlo Albanese says, beep, beep. Yes, yes. Sci-Fi Nation says they still sell candy cigarettes at the bodega down the block. Oh, very cool. I was actually going to talk about that today. I'm surprised. I'm afraid they sell candy cigarettes. Rock Solid says, I thought Mop would like that. She did, Rock Solid. She did. Dear Bop, Lou Gehrig died of Lou Gehrig's disease. How did he not see that shit coming? I know. You see, if he died of it today, people would say it was a conspiracy theory. But in the olden days, you could get away with that. So, Sci-Fi Nation, the bodega down the corner. I can do you one better, Sci-Fi. The Mamo Prey bodega. Have these been opened?
Diana brought them for you a couple of years ago from somewhere. Open them. You too could look this cool. I really hope that this paper isn't more cancerous than actual cigarettes. It's called bubble gum. Oh my God. It's hard as a rock. No, it's not supposed to be hard as a rock. Bubble gum is supposed to be chewy. It says bubble gum. Oh, cigarettes of old days was like a hard.
It says bubble gum right on the pack. I mean, it's got a taste of bubble gum.
Don't break your teeth.
I'm not going to break my teeth. The dentist called today. Just make me look cool. Hey, baby. You want to come to Marlboro country? We should get all the orphans hooked on this. They'll be 25% more productive. It's good. Oh, and there goes my tooth. Okay. I better keep the cigarettes. Keep the candy cigarettes away from my mouth before I break more teeth. Sci-Fi Nation says, if you win the lottery, I request you sing a heartfelt rendition of Moving On Up, Jefferson style. You know what? I should do that anyway, because I am going to win the lottery. So in preparation, we should do it. We should do it. Sci-Fi Nation says it's the same brand. And they have Big League Chew bubblegum. Now, Big League Chew, they still make. Big League Chew is still pretty good bubblegum as bubblegums go. Yid says, I miss chocolate cigarettes. Some biatch of a politician banned here. Those sons of bitches. Carlo Albanese says, Kent cigarettes, now with asbestos. Filter for smoother, safer smoke. Sci-Fi Nation is 5-cent stuff with a comic in it as hard as a rock. Oh, yeah. That was Bazooka Joe. The Bazooka Joe bubblegum. And Roxanne says, no, it doesn't make you look cool with a K. I knew what you meant, Carlo. Asbestos. Asbestos. So, yeah. Being it's National Candy Day, I thought you think back, what was your favorite candies? I had candy cigarettes as a kid to make me look cool. They used to blow a smoke. You used to be able to blow out of it. It was like a smoke of sugar. It had powdered sugar, so it made it look like you were actually, actually smoking. I remember those. I remember, I don't know how else to describe them but candy, but they were basically just wax. They were cylinders of wax, and inside were different colors of liquid that was just like sugar water, or cherry, or raspberry, blueberry, all the different colors and flavors. And you'd bite into the wax, and the liquid would you just suck up. And then when you were done, you'd get all these piles and piles of wasted wax. There's maybe a quarter of an ounce of liquid in this big wax, whatever. And then I don't know what you do with all that wax. Some people used to melt it together and make candles and shit. That was a weird candy. Pez. Pez was they still have Pez. I know we still have Pez. You don't have to get all the candy, Mama Frey. Mama Frey's going, I know we still have Pez. To this day, we've got Pez in the house. Lifesavers. Lifesavers was still is one of my favorite candies. Actually, honestly, since being in the bed, I kind of get a fear of swallowing a hard candy. So I prefer most of my candy in lollipop form these days, just because I know I can prevent it from going down my throat. Oh, Garbage Pail. Garbage Pail, kids. Oh, can you see that? There you go. Garbage Pail, kids. They've got, these are stickers. Oh, and a stick of bubble gum. The 60, holy shit. $5? Where did these come from? Diana. Oh, right. Diana. She went someplace that had a candy store and she brought old school candy. What does this say? Copyright 1986. 1986? Is this an original Garbage Pail Kids pack from 1986?
Possibly.
Special GPK t-shirt offer. Terrific high quality white t-shirt as shown. To order, just send $6.95 plus $1.25 postage and handling. Plus 3 GBK wrappers to your name, address, birth date, and size requirements too. And then the address is on the other side. Garbage t-shirt, P.O. Box, Westbury. Allow 8 weeks. Void where taxed. Holy shit. I should send this to Cinnabon. He'd know what to do. Actually, we got 2 packs. Oh, this is the 5th series. Also copyright 1986. So we got 2. I don't know. This could be a gold mine here. And the Pez. Mama Gray. And the Pez. Now, Pez, I mean the Pez. Oh, assorted candy color. Okay. Because usually Pez is just like a solid flavor these days. This is the assorted Pez. So this is like the Lifesavers Pez with the different flavors. They put gum in Topps baseball card packs. Soda Pops. Is that what they were called? Yitza Lemon says Sweetwood was nice. Roll up gum, Jawbreakers, Napoleons. Sci-Fi says they still sell those and Lil Hugs with foil tops. Do you still have the wrappers? Says Yitza. Mike Richards, my favorite store is Candies and Shit. Yitza says, oh, those are the new ones. Oh, are they? Roxanne says they just released an NES Garbage Pail Kids game. Don't open it if it's original, says Yitza. Sci-Fi said they had 6 names for the same characters back in the 80s. Yitza says Cinnabon has enough cards. Send them to someone who really loves them. Sci-Fi says void where taxed. Well, so much for us then. Yeah, for the U.S. Carlos says he'll open it. Yitza says I recently got the GPK cookbook to make nasty snot food for my kids. Garbage Pail Kids, GPK. Now I understand what it means. I'm really I don't even know if these are. I can't imagine that they put the old copyright date on it. Made and printed in the USA. Dextrose, corn syrup, gum base, softeners, artificial flavors, BHT to maintain freshness. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Original 5th series. Garbage Pail Kids. Oh, they're not that expensive. A lot of 2. Oh, well, they're $10. $10 a pack. A lot of 2 for $20. That's hmm, unopened. Now this is a single pack for $20. Well, okay. Let's see what they're actually selling for. There. Why isn't usually you see it on the left side? Um, hmm, okay, well, unopened, fresh. Okay, so clearly they're between 5 and 10. You can get them. You can get them for cheaper. Okay. No, they're not. No $100 or $1,000. See, yeah, okay. Now, any particular card, maybe there might be some card worth something in there, but uh, uh, anyway. BHT says Carlo. Dave G. Sound says there's a large tornado outbreak going on right now in Texas. Oh no. Oh no. Texas. Tornado. Tornado watch issued for most of North Texas. Dallas Fort Worth weather tornado watch in North Texas. Warnings in Ellis, Hill, and Navarro County. Well, anybody in those warning areas, please be safe. Be safe. Gorilla says the effort bit me. At least the cat is the clawed. I'm sorry to hear that, Gorilla. I really am. But yeah, okay. Well, I think that will do it for today. National Candy Day. Thank you, Mamo Pray, for the candy. I'm a bit hungry. I think it's time I eat something that's not candy. Although it's certainly got me got my appetite up. So good. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. What's today? Friday. So Sunday, I will see you guys for Twilight Zone. Remember, those outside the United States or outside of Arizona, the rest of us do switch our clocks Sunday morning. So keep an eye out for that. And I will see you all soon. Thank you for coming, and Qapla. Well, hail Caroga. Absolutely. Hail Caroga. Hail to Mamo Pray. And hail to Sassy. Oh, wait, excuse me. I got one more thing to do. Be right there. Well, we're moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up to the east side. For he finally got a piece of the pie. Fish don't fry in the kitchen, and beans don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. Now we're up in the big leagues, getting our turn at the bat. As long as we live, it's you and me, baby. There ain't nothing wrong with that. We're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up to the east side. Finally got a piece of the pie. Yeah. We finally got a piece of the pie. Dave Jesus, thanks for being on, Bird of Prey, and be well, Caroga. Roxanne says, switch your clocks on Sunday and your government on Tuesday. I like it, Rox. Carlo Albanese says, bed life. It's a stream by Birdo Prey 5. Yet says, what's happening? Mike Richards goes, aroo! Roxanne says, this is so cute that Bird thinks he's getting my lottery winnings tomorrow. It's not part of the rapture yet, don't worry. You're okay. You're okay. Moving on up. What we could do. Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you know who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare state. Everybody pulled his weight. Gee, our old La Salle ran great. Those were the days. Now that is part of the rapture. And if you're still here, I'm sorry to say you passed.